Hi, I'm Dr. Justin Lin, manual therapist at Rehab and Revive. Today, I plan to speak about a popular video that has netted thousands of comments about why we don't show all the techniques of how to treat stomach pain. In my defense, that was purely a promo video for the office. However, today is your lucky day. We're going to show you the entire process of how we treat stomach pain and reveal the secret sauce at Rehab and Revive. All right, everyone, we have our special guest, Dr. Preston, here at Rehab and Revive. He's going to help be our demo, but he also let me know that sometimes, occasionally, he has stomach pain. So I'm going to treat it because, that's what friends are for. And so, yeah, we're going to get right to it. So I want to get this on. I'm looking for a nice bass drum. Now I'm going to go down to the cecal valve, and try to open that up. And his is blocked. There's nothing going on. Sometimes people's valves are open. Sometimes they're closed. Sometimes they're kind of shaky. And so you're definitely we're going to get that open for him. And he'll thank me later. He's going to call me and say, "Hey, Justin, I pooped really well." So then we're going to move over here. Sigmoid. This isn't bad, actually. So you can see it's a little softer than this side. And so it's just not this open. So when it's open like this, what you guys need to know is it's not doing this. It's open. This is what kind of starts creating diarrhea, right? So does that happen? You have loose stool sometimes? Yeah, so there's something that he should focus on, and then so we want to get that, and then start that little like natural pump. There we go. Yeah, and so sometimes you can feel things like like it kind of happens like that, like a funnel, and then you want to kind of move that towards that colorectal region, colorectal valve. It's really stuck here. A lot of scar tissue, actually. So you can tell he's had a lot of fun eating fried food or junk food or, anything of the such, staying up late, poor hydration, too much coffee. So there we go. And so that takes time to get that kind of training. A lot of you guys can go check out the Brawl Institute and kind of figure out and work kind of that. So after that, I just try to generally take a look. Does his tissue have the ability to kind of move this way? Now we like to get into filters, and we got some big filters here. We got, kind of the spleen, pancreas kind of type of filter. We've got the appendix. People don't think that's a filter or that's not necessary, but it is definitely something that we can, mobilize. We want to check that. And then you've got gallbladder. And so a lot of times when your filters are off, they start breaking down. They're working too hard. So if it's not caught early on over here, it's caught down here, you end up with chronic appendix inflammation or then appendicitis. If you don't have an appendix, guess what? The next thing that might fail might be your gallbladder. And then if you don't have a gallbladder, then your liver has to do extra work, and you don't want like liver issues, right? So, this is something that Dr. Preston needs to keep maintaining on himself if he's going to not make diet changes and lifestyle changes. So we're going to start there, and I want to check in. There should also be a pulse here. So I want to dig kind of underneath, and it's probably tender, and you can tell me, just like a regular patient, and so go ahead and bend this here. Yeah. So there we go. And so all of a sudden, even release this hip. Did you notice that? Yep. Good. Check that again, and now it's nice and soft. Probably less tender. Would you agree? Appendix, that's a new one. A lot of people think it's hip flexor tightness or whatnot. And you can play a test with this, right? So it's sometimes stuck to the actual hip flexor. So, as you extend, his isn't bad, actually. But I think when I go up, it gets stuck. So I can leave him up here, and it's tender. And I'm like kind of grabbing that a little bit. It's like a little small grape or a deflated, not a rotting grape, but it should be soft. It shouldn't be like plump. If it's plump, I would say, you got something going on there. You want to get that checked out. So you can see he doesn't move that way. and down. So I can use his leg as a little crank, or I can continue. And so this is how I save my hands too, for those of you physical therapists out there. I know Dr. Preston likes to use his hands all the time, but I use my other hand to help and just hold. Good. Yes, good. And right there. So I don't have to do any extra work on my treating hand. Good, good. All right, that loosened up. So same thing, let's do that test again. And now it sinks in. His appendix was stuck. It just didn't allow him to fold naturally. And then now it just sinks in underneath, which is good. So I have some functional tests with that. And his gallbladder kind of sits here. And you can tell this one's loaded right now. Do you have any family history of like dad, mom, gallbladder stuff? But that right here is, if I kind of lift his rib cage a little bit, it's going to pop out, and he's not going to like that a whole lot, right? Doesn't feel good, right? Now you can use your legs again. Bend both knees. Just go side to side with the legs. Lower trunk rotation. Ooh, that tightens up. Yep, go the other way. And I'm not pressing hard. I think he knows that. I think you can see that. I'm not using my body weight. Yeah, I'm just kind of work that out. So pressure on, pressure off. Yeah. Yeah, so everyone wants to know the secret sauce here at Rehab. I'm giving it away. Yeah, yeah. It's a tutorial for some of you therapists and some of you future clients and some of you just wanting to learn. And you'll feel maybe a burn. You might feel some staples, even some tearing. That's not unusual. So we want to open these babies up. Good. 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 So that's feeling good. That's feeling good. And then, so if I do the same thing, lift that up, still a little bit left, right? Right. But not as bad. So I'm going to be a little bit meaner now. I'm going to kind of stabilize. I said I want to give him his money's worth for spending time with us. There we go. Good. Now take a deep breath. Good. And I should have shown earlier about his breathing. You see there's sometimes asymmetric breathing, and it's just not going all that great. But now he's got a little bit. It's actually kind of cold feeling here. It's really interesting. This room is hot right now. We don't have a fan because otherwise it takes away from the sound quality. But this is a cold feeling here. And usually if you're good at the temperature feelings, then you know that cold is something that's old injuries, old. So I just want to get it jump started. Anything old probably is just not working properly. It's a motor that's, inefficient. There it is. Did you feel that kind of? It started jump starting. So it's like I took cables, jumper cables, and that's looking better. How's that from earlier? So take a deep breath. Good. Yeah. So now we're going to go into rib cage. This will be interesting. Do a little light crunch for me, Dr. Preston. Go ahead. And you'll see that, not bad, but this one pushes out, probably tender there and there. So we're going to use the famous Shannon technique, or on quadruped on your knees. Shannon is my wife. I discovered this technique, when she threw out her own ribs. So go on your elbows and knees. And so you can see here on Dr. Preston, even when he breathes, it should, in a perfect world, your rib cage should open. And that's what we want to do. Go ahead and open. Yeah. And you see, there's some over here. I know it might be hard to see in video, but to me, it's not expanding. Go for it. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's see what it is. And he knows the drill. So this technique I'm not totally going to give away, but you're going to bend to the side here. And so we're going to treat that. And then you're going to do twist left here. Yep. And just breathe. Yep. And so I'm just rearranging the stack of plates. Think of it like a stack of Pringles chips. It should be a nice tubular line. The rib should totally turn your head to the right, do one arm push up on the right. And then so good. And then just breathe. Good. I love getting my rib cage mobilized like this. It is fantastic. You feel taller. You feel more open. What else? Dr. Preston, what else do people?
Stable.
Stable, that's a good one. And then the posture. So those who have poor posture, stable is a common word. You're right. Back down. Twist the other side. Good. 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 So when you mobilize something, you need to stabilize it after. So we're freeing up something, but now we got to stabilize it after we're done with this. So you'll see how I do that in a minute. Good. You don't get to keep what you don't earn or what you didn't work hard for. You know, it's your body just doesn't, you don't appreciate, your body doesn't appreciate that. And that's what I always tell clients. It's much more appreciative when you worked hard and you get to, you know, keep your earnings, right? So, good. Okay, back down. Okay, take a deep breath. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, and it feels a little bit more efficient. Sometimes I'll stabilize his shoulders a little bit. That'll be for another day, but you can see just over here, from my view, my vantage point, this one's a little lower, so some injury in his shoulder probably in the past. Did you have one here, right?
Lots of them.
Yep, multiple time. Yes. Doctor, slide towards me. I'll just kind of treat this quickly. And you'll see how just even sometimes a collarbone being slightly off axis. Good. Now take a deep breath. You see now he's breathing up here, right? All right, so like I said, he's now in better alignment, but it's unstable, and I'll show you why. Don't let me move you. I can literally move him around, right? Like, this is just, you know, sad. This guy works out all the time. I like never work out now that I have a kid. So this guy is fit, you know? You're telling me this guy can't hold this little bit of pressure, right? But that's because his brain isn't aware. That's a normal thing. His brain's just not connecting to the muscles. And you feel that way, right, Dr. Preston? Yeah, he just doesn't know like how to access it. So a lot of times you get a massage, a lot of times you get a chiropractic work, and you realize that, you know, that it just doesn't hold, right? You go out to the car and boom, you're a mess again. And a lot of that times that's what you gotta do. You need to re-educate. So we're gonna do that. And so I'm gonna make him think of his legs and elbows as prongs, stick them into the table. Okay, don't let me move you. And he's gonna go through some shakiness, and we're gonna hold it. And to me, it doesn't show up on video, I know, but he's shaking. Would you agree? Yeah, he's shaking. So good. And then I'm just finding the areas that I work on. See, I can move him pretty easy, but when he gets disengaged, you know, naturally, it's not tightening. It's a hold, you know, it's not a push. He's not pushing me. He's holding me. And then once it kicks in, the quicker it kicks in, the more neuromuscularly sound you are. And that's something we do here. And so you can see earlier I was able to move him, but, you know, and we're not faking this, right? So you feel that, of course. Now, the crazy thing is I do this, and remember that, does it necessarily translate to the other side? Let's just take a look, right? No, right? I'm like, you know, but that's something we got to train too. So I'm going to go over here and make him work. Good. He's got to earn it, like I said. Sometimes when you're just given something for free, you know, you don't necessarily appreciate it. Maybe you appreciate it for the first few minutes, but you appreciate more of that hard work. Good.
Oh.
Good. Who works hard these days? It's another question for a different day. Hold. Now he's getting it, right? So I can get him this way. He got to keep this. That's, you know, I'm really loading him, and I'm really fighting. So you can see that. So that's good. He got that re-educated. Go ahead and flip back on your back. And then we'll see if anything we do disrupts, it'll show back up again. So his valves are doing great. They're more open. Is there as much tenderness here, and I'm pushing firm. It's more pliable, more plush. Now we want him to keep it, right? We can teach a couple exercises, but the one that we like to give is plunging. So we've got our handy dandy sink plunger. We can also link this up on for Amazon sells it as well. You just put some chapstick around the brim. create a better seal, and you treat this out. And so, Dr. Preston, I'm going to put this right here at your pyloric sphincter, and you can see that there's a good suction. And you don't have to pull hard, everyone. You just want to pull firm. And you can then find which way is tightest. And you can see this isn't good, this isn't good. It's like a joystick, but that is tightest, right? You can tinker, like, is that tight? That tight. So specificity is really important to help our patient population bend. And that tightened up, right? Would you notice? And I would teach him, yeah, where do you find it? Where do you find it? So go ahead and hold that for yourself. This is your home exercise program, and you're just going to go side to side till it loosens up. Now, you don't want to go over, right? In a perfect world, you should be able to fall flat, and then it's still loose. But you're going to notice the more efficient it becomes, then the seal kind of breaks. And that's kind of what happens to a lot of our folks. So you're going to hit here like a diamond, and a lot of how I treated it. Then you'll hit here, then you hit here, then you hit here. And hopefully that constipation, that stomach ache, that, hard stool and stuff like that, it just improves over time. So I get a question a lot, and it's like, why does this reset? We can do this, and then maybe a week from now or 2 weeks from now, the same stuff comes back. And largely, I would say stress, maybe some inherent swelling or underlying things like you've got IBS, or you've got some kind of chemical issue that's creating this inflammation in your gut, celiacs, IBS, some other kind of pathologies there. And so that's why this type of home exercise is very important, that you keep maintaining this, and then obviously start looking at different answers. And so when we run across this and it keeps coming back, it shouldn't come back. If in a perfect world, it should definitely get better. And, I only have to do this once or twice. I shouldn't have to do this every visit, or every other visit. You want to progress from that. So after that, then and like I said, we can go a little bit more in depth. I have a plunging video, so we're going to go a little faster on this, and then, it's tighter, and then you hold that there. And then we'll hit here, and then I always tell people to finish the diamond, it's kind of more here, but you do that at home and, kind of, get naked and stuff like that. So, and you do this, a couple of minutes in the day, it just feels good. You feel a little bit more open. Good. And get that. And that's kind of like what seals the deal, right? We're this side, this way, right? So, you're finding the tightest rotation, tightest angle with this. And that's going to be your key to success. But, like I said, go find a visceral therapist, a visceral manual therapist. If you're local, come find us. We're happy to help take care of you as well. So, but that's kind of the main gist. Appreciate Dr. Preston joining us. And we'll get right back to you. Let us know your thoughts on our video and leave us some love or questions in the comments box below. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate your support. I'm Dr. Lin. Remember, we heal smarter, not harder.